Hello, everyone. My name is Lauren Francois. I am a 3-star Diamond 2015 Premier Beachbody Coach and the founder of the Limitless Crew. And today I'm going to show you how to use MailChimp. So MailChimp is an email service that I use to send emails out to customer lists and to create automated email campaigns for the coaches on my team. So I've had quite a few people who have asked me about it, and I thought I'd give you a little run through of how to set some things up in MailChimp. So the first thing you want to do is create an account and sign in. And the first thing you're going to do is click on lists, and you're going to want to create a list. And so what you do is it will just prompt you through this. I want to create a list. So I need to give the list a name. We'll do example 1. The email address that will show up in the from field when an email goes out to this list. So I'll use my new email. Obviously your name. And you can write a short reminder if you'd like on how people had gotten onto the list. Your contact information, you can decide if you want any notifications, and then you would save. So I acknowledge the risk that Gmail may prevent my emails from going to certain people. So I'm just going to enter something in here. And then hopefully it will let me save. Okay, so now I have created the list. Now you want to add subscribers to the list. So in order to add subscribers, you can either click back on lists, and now you'll see this pops up right here. This is the easiest way to add subscribers if you're just adding them one at a time. So you just click on this little button over here, add a subscriber. You need their email address, their first and last name, and then you need to click that the person gave you permission to email them, and then hit subscribe, and it adds the subscriber to the list. So that's how you create a list and add subscribers to your list. Now, to create a campaign, so let's say you want to send out a weekly email to your list of subscribers. You would go to campaigns, and you would click on create campaign. And I usually just do a regular campaign. And then you'll select the list you want to send the campaign to. So as you can see, I have my Beachbody customers prospects list. I'll just select example 1. You can send it to the entire list. If you've created different segments within your list, you can select that, but I usually just send it to my entire list. So I click next. And then you'll go through, you'll name your campaign, the email subject that you want to show up in the subject line when the person receives the email. Again, I'll have to acknowledge the risk of using a Gmail address. I usually track opens and I track clicks, and that just tracks it within MailChimp. So I don't get any notifications about those things. I leave everything else blank, and then I click next. MailChimp doesn't want to let me just leave this stuff blank for this example. Okay, next. So now I get to select the kind of template I would like to use, and there are tons of different templates based on what you want your email to look like. I usually just use the regular first one column template. And so then it brings up this screen, and this is where you create the email. So you can delete certain parts of the email if you don't want them in there. I usually delete this part of the email. You can add in, let's say you want to have an image up there, then you just drag it from the right to the left, add it in. That didn't work. Okay, there's already an image there, so that's why it's not letting me put anything here. But you'll see, like, here is the text field. If I click on that, it shows up on the right-hand side, and this is where I can actually write my email. And you would write the body of your email in that field, and then you click save and close. You can include links to different social media. So I do not use Twitter, but I use Facebook, so I can include my Facebook URL. There's so many different options here. You can include your YouTube, Pinterest. I usually include my Instagram, and you enter your URL and then save and close. Down here is, you can edit this or fill it in with whatever you would like. And then up here, if you want to upload an image, you can browse, and let's just upload this image from my meditation. So then it uploads the image in there. Once you're done crafting your email, you click next. And this is the page that will tell you if your email is ready to be sent. So obviously, if there's a red X, that means something's wrong. The reason there's a red X next to list is because I don't have any part or recipients in that example list. But everything else is okay. These yellow exclamation points, you'll still be able to send the email. But if everything looks good down here on the right-hand corner, you'll be able to either click send or schedule. So you could schedule the email for the future, or you could send it right away. So that is how you create an email campaign or send an email out to a list. Now, the last thing I want to show you how to do is how to create an automation. So I am going to go to automation, and to create an automation, you have to have a list that you're working with. So the first thing you're going to do is create automation workflow, and then it's going to prompt you to choose the list that you want the automation to go to. So I have one for my new coach training emails. I will select that just for this example. And then it'll ask you to select a workflow. If you're selecting a series of emails to go out, then it would be this welcome series. And then again, you're gonna go through the same kind of thing you did for creating a campaign. So workflow name, I'll say example 1, it's coming from Lauren Gauchel. I have to acknowledge the risk from Gmail. You can personalize the to field, so you can make sure that the email says your recipient's first name. You can add their last name in if you'd like, just to personalize it a bit. And it actually shows you how to do that right up here. So I can do that. And then I usually just keep the clicks and opens selected and I press next. Then you get to decide when you want this workflow to be triggered. So how you want the first email to go out. So in this case, I want the workflow to trigger when I add a new subscriber to the list. So as soon as I add a new subscriber to the list, the first email will go out to him or her. Now I need to add emails. So in this case, you can add 1 email at a time, you can add 5 emails at a time, and then you will create each email. So you'll go through, and here you can see that there are 5 emails. Now, when you click Design Email, it's going to take you through a very similar process that I just showed you when you created your email campaign. But the one thing I did want to show you is how to actually automate when the emails go out. So right here, it says trigger workflow when the following conditions are met. People subscribe to or are imported to list new coach training emails. So as soon as someone subscribes to, or in my case, no one can subscribe to that list, I have to add them into it. So as soon as I add someone to that list, I want the first email to go out to them immediately. So I need to change this delay because right now it says that the first email won't go out until 2 days after I've added them to the list. So if I click change delay, I can say immediately, send immediately after workflow is triggered, and I'll click save. Then with my new coach training, the second email goes out 3 days after the previous email was sent. So I'm gonna leave that. And then the next email goes out, you can say 2 days after the previous email was sent. I'm going to say 4 days after the previous email was sent. And then here, I'm going to say, you can say days, weeks, you can do hours. I'm going to say 1 week after the previous email was sent. So that means in this case, we're going to change this to 1 week after the previous email was sent. Okay, so in this case, I now have set up an email series that's automated to my new coach training email list. As soon as I add someone to the list, it will trigger the workflow and they will get the first email. 3 days after they get that email, they'll get the second email. 4 days after they get the second email, so a full week after they get the very first email, they'll get the third email. And then a week after that, they'll get the fourth email. And a week after that, they'll get the fifth email. And you can add more emails if you'd like. Let's see if it will let me go any further. It will. So this is the screen where you would be able to start your workflow. Obviously, I cannot right now because I did not create these emails actually. But if you had created all the emails, then these would all be green check marks and you could click start workflow. And as soon as you imported someone into that list, it would start that workflow. So it's actually pretty simple. It takes a little bit of time to kind of get your feet wet and get a hang of it, but that is how MailChimp works. It is a great tool for you to house a customer list and to be able to send an email out to lots of different customers or prospects. And like I said, I love using it for trainings because I don't have to manually remember when to send out emails to everybody. It just automatically sends them out to them. So that is MailChimp. That's all I've got for you today. If you have any questions on how to use MailChimp, please comment below and I will do my best to get them answered for you. Thanks for watching and I will talk to you soon. Bye.